All right. We are back in Planet Coaster in Gold Rock Park, our amazing, realistic Windleverse park that has not been touched up on in a while. So why not be back and work on it? I've been away for a little bit from live streaming as a whole, and that was mostly because I was just I'd say I'd taken more of a little bit of a mental break. Mostly, oh gosh, there's myself. I'm just trying to get my stuff. Collect myself a little bit and be back. So live on YouTube. All right. And now hopefully everyone will start coming in. But welcome, J Trains. How's it going? Good to see you here. Hope you guys are doing well. We're going to be doing some more work, of course, here in this lovely park, and hopefully get that much closer to Windleverse. So we have a lot to do still in that regard. We still got to work a lot in the central area here. The central area has been, for the most part, pretty well in touch. We've been touching it up once in a while, but like the Ferris wheel queue and the merry-go-round here, or the carousel, still needs to be worked on quite a bit. And I think we got our general idea of the park. We just are in the finishing stages. We're in the polishing stages at this point. And once we get the polishing stuff done, we'll be good to go. And then I'll be obviously working a lot on the outdoor spot or outdoor area as well of the park. So sorry, I'm messaging my wife at the exact same time. I'm multitasking. So what's up, Ghost X Gaming? How's it going? Welcome to the stream. I hope you guys are doing well. Oh, I need to put my UI back. But I'm happy to be back. Hopefully, I will be streaming a lot often again. So, I know I was on a good streak, and I don't know if I was really burnt out. And there's been a lot of days where I thought about streaming and then ended up not streaming. That's what's been happening a lot lately. Where I just like contemplate, like, should I stream? Because I've had a lot of free time to stream. I just have not, and I guess I'm just kind of been taking a personal break, I guess. Not really I can't say I've been really busy for the most part. I've just been kind of chilling out for a little bit. You know, everyone needs breaks once in a while, I suppose, but I don't know. I just didn't have it in me to stream for a little while. I'm not entirely sure why, but that happened. So hopefully I'll be back. And I like every day. I like the last couple days. I've just been like, okay, I'm gonna stream today. Okay, I'm gonna stream today, and I keep saying that, and then I end up not streaming. And at that point, I'm like, oh, it's a little late, and all that fun stuff. So kind of how it goes, you know. Should get some tunes in here, shouldn't we? No, it's not 2-player. It's only 1-player. I'm hoping that the sequel, if Planet Coaster 2 becomes a thing, I'm hoping that they are highly considering a multiplayer where multiple people could work on a park at the same time. Because that is a thing in Parkitect, which is another popular theme park sim, that You know, I feel like they should add it. It would be really nice for collaborations and stuff, to be able to work on a park when you ever you need to, you know? It'd actually be quite nice. That is a very highly requested feature, though, that hopefully someday. The closest you can get is hand the park off to one another. So, like, you can use the Steam Workshop to kind of hand the park off and work on it. That's about the closest we have, though. There's not anything else you can really do multiplayer-wise. So, it is something that I hope that they consider in the future for maybe like the sequel or something. If the sequel does happen, you know, a lot of people, there's a lot of non-believers out there that think the sequel is not going to be a thing. I think it is, but and I think we could see it as soon as late 2023, maybe even 2024. But that's just me. Oh yeah, IAPA's coming up. That's right. It's within a couple days, isn't it? Maybe we'll get some announcements, some fun announcements from some parks. That'd be kind of cool. I'm always excited to see what coaster companies bring to the table during IAPA and stuff. I would love to go to IAPA just to explore, just to be there. Like, not even like, obviously I wouldn't be buying anything because, well, it's just exciting to see all of the stuff the companies come up with and stuff. It's so cool. It's definitely a thing I would love to go to someday. I don't know how much it would cost just to observe stuff, you know, because, you know, I've seen, seen some coaster channels go out there quite often. Coaster Studios has been out there before. Wonder if I wouldn't be surprised if he's there again this year. A few others. I don't know if it like cost a bit to get in there. I think it's usually in Florida, which is always fun. I usually hold in Florida. I don't know if they still are. I'd imagine they are, but lots of always an exciting time seeing all the different stuff come up, you know. Very, very exciting. All right, we're gonna make sure this is heavily wooded. That's the one thing, is we're gonna have no shortage of trees in this park. That's for sure. Tomorrow, I thought it was in 2 days. Never mind. Tomorrow. Cool. I'll definitely be watching some content on what's happening in the IAPA world tomorrow, if that's the case. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Maybe one day I'll be able to attend it. That would be cool. Would be kind of a dream, wouldn't it, to be able to visit something like that. Do I know Geekism? I do know Geekism. He's actually rated me on Twitch before, I think, actually. So he's actually, I don't know him real personally, but I've actually talked to him on one of my streams, and he rated me, and that I had like 60 some odd viewers at once on a live stream, which was crazy at the time. You know, it was actually really cool. So really did appreciate that. It was really cool of him to. So the fact that Geekism knows I exist is pretty cool. So Geekism is pretty cool. So yeah, I totally know who Geekism is. I haven't really seen anything or talked to him since that raid, but don't know if he still watches me that much, or if at all, you know. But still pretty cool. I said I was gonna a long time ago I was gonna get some music up in here. Let's go to Betamax Sound, see what we can find. What kind of style are we feeling? Something cool, maybe. Let's go, let's type in Epic Voyage. Let's start there. Let's start there. Alright, I think what we're gonna do is take some of these and use them to kind of cover these up a bit. Cover up that grass patch. No one wants them grassy patches. This all overall helps with the scenery rating as well when it comes to all that. I think that's all we need to do. Sweet. So that's looking pretty fine, mighty fine. What's up, someone? How's it going? How about them Chiefs? Right. Had no doubt that they could beat the Jaguars. No big deal. Next week's going to be a big one against the Chargers again. I think that's next week, right? They play the Chargers on Sunday night. They flexed it to Sunday night. So that's going to be an interesting game because we barely beat them last time. So, and it's always a big game, AFC West. And they're the only ones on our heels. If we can win that game, AFC West is looking pretty good for the Chiefs, so. Yes, I'm actually live. When's the 24-hour live stream? I have, like, y'all want this 24-hour live stream so bad. So bad. Would any of you actually stay 24 hours, though? That's the question. I know some people actually do. I have done it in the past. But what's up, Calgo's Moo? How's it going? Welcome. Hope you guys are having a wonderful time. Wonderful day. I'm back after kind of a short personal break. You know, I didn't feel like I don't like streaming when I don't feel like streaming. And I feel like it ruins the content a little bit if I try to do that. And I just haven't felt it lately, so that's... I have no excuse. There's no excuse for my absence, but... hopefully I won't be absent too long. November's been kind of like a chill... you know, really chill, month for me lately. Just kind of like a little bit of a break, a couple weeks, you know. But Coaster Gnome, how's it going? Chargers your team, so I have to go root against you. That's fair. I actually like the Chargers, despite them being in the AFC West. You know, I'm supposed to hate them, but they're the one AFC West team that I don't mind, because I actually do like them a lot. You know, I really do like Justin Herbert and stuff. Justin Herbert's awesome. I mean, I like Patrick Mahomes a little more, for obvious reasons, but I really do respect Justin Herbert. He's awesome. And the toughness he showed on the last time he played the Chiefs was pretty insane. I was actually scared for him. I was just like, dude, don't risk it. You know, get out of there. I don't want you to end your career, not end your career, but I don't want you to end your season. You're such a good QB. But if you ask me if I like the Broncos or Raiders, absolutely not. Especially the Raiders. Raiders are my most hated team. And I love watching them suffer this season. They've been awful, and I'm glad they've been awful. I didn't believe in them. Everyone was saying that they were going to be good this year. I was like, I didn't think they were. I'm just going to be like, I don't see it. Oh boy, you got Davante Adams. You need more than one player to be good. Yeah, they got a good receiver now. But I don't think Derek Carr's that great. He's had some flashes, but I just don't think he's up there with, like, Justin Herbert, you know, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and all them. He's not up there with them. He really isn't. But anyways, how you guys doing? A lot of more people coming in here. How you guys doing today? Die-hard Packers fan? I bet you had fun yesterday, Zero G, then. Watching them beat the Cowboys in overtime. That was a big win. They needed that win to stay alive. Yeah, the Packers have been weird, you know. It's weird seeing them not have a good record. I kind of like the Packers a little bit too, you know, but I've always kind of liked them. It just seemed like one of those more traditional teams that just have so much history behind them, you know? which is really, really neat. But yeah, favorite hockey team? I'm gonna have to say the Blues because they're the only hockey team I know. I don't follow hockey. But yeah, I guess I would say the Blues because they're the only ones that I know because I guess, you know, St. Louis, Missouri, and, you know, Missouri, so I'm not much of a hockey person. The only sport I really watch is football, so like I'm not the biggest sport person, I just like football. Like, that's the only sport that I get hyped for. Best football team are the Saints because the logo looks like the top of a fancy Have you seen that? Have you seen that? I'm assuming that you got that from that that one TikTok videos. Looks like the top of a fancy gate. Looks like an angry-looking chicken. I wish he would have, like, done one for the Chiefs. I would have loved to see what he would have said for the Chiefs one. Would have been funny. Looks like a Patriot. Yes, yes, yes. Flagman. No. Looks like the Tesla symbol. Flaming Elon Musk ball. Really, really cool. Funny. Wish the Winter Olympics happened more than every 4 years. Yeah, interesting. You know, gotta wait 4 years for Olympics. What up with that, man? 4 years? Wildcats Revenge? I think it looks fine. Like, I think it'll be a great addition. And I know all the coaster enthusiasts, or a lot of coaster enthusiasts, are whining that it's not the biggest. Like, I don't know why everyone thinks that every new RMC has to up the last one every time. And I'm like, just be happy there's another RMC coming. Like, stop making it to where it has to be better than Iron Gwazi. It's got to be better than Steel Vent. It's got to be the best ever. If it's not the best ever, it's going to be a disappointment. Like, stop hyping it up so much to disappoint yourself. That's the thing. You know, a lot of people are happy with it. I think it's fine. I think it's great for Hershey. And now they have one of the greatest freaking lineups. So, like, there's nothing to complain about there. Really, really, really not. I think it looks awesome. And if I ever get out to Hershey, which I don't know if I ever will, for sure anytime soon, because, you know, I don't live anywhere near there, I'm sure it'll be awesome. So, Winter Olympics or Summer Olympics? I don't know. I don't really watch Olympics that much. Like I said, the only sports I really watch is football, so I don't really keep up to date with that. I think they look fine. Both of them look fine. So Monday Night Football watch party. We should. Mostly because I probably won't be able to watch it without you, Fluffy. Because I don't have access to ESPN. Although I probably should. Yeah, coaster enthusiasts are just really dumb sometimes. They really are. I like the Blues because your uncle and dad gotcha. Makes sense on TikTok, but I think I saw the video. Yeah, I don't really watch TikTok, but I saw that on YouTube, but I knew it was from TikTok, so. Finally got into football this year. Nice. Just excited for Air Force One. Air Force One. Does look really, really good. I hope to maybe someday head out there. It would be really, really cool. So just remember Wildcats Revenge. I can't believe it wasn't 554 feet tall with 42 inversions and 3 Gs of Earth. Exactly. Like, that's just... People have so many stupid expectations that they set themselves up for disappointment. You know? You know it's going to be a great ride. It's by RMC. It's not going to be a bad ride. You don't have to break records to be the best ride of all time. Like, seriously. Maverick is, like, one of the biggest examples I use is Maverick at Cedar Point. That was the first coaster to ever make me go, wow. Because I was just like, I knew that a lot of people called it the best ride. and I was just at Cedar Point at the time. Now it's Steel Vengeance, in my opinion, but at the time, and I was like, why? It's not even that big. It's like, it's small. And then I figured that out after I wrote it, and I was like, yeah, you don't have to break every freaking record to be one of the best rides in the world. You really don't. So, because before I went to Cedar Point for the first time, I had never really been to a big park with big, like, these huge rides and coasters and stuff. Like, the only thing I'd really known was Silver Dollar City before, like, you know, Time Traveler and stuff like that. The only thing I knew was Silver Dollar City, Worlds of Fun, and Six Flags St. Louis. Like, those are the parks I grew up with because they're my home parks. So I never got to really experience, you know, Six Flags Magic Mountain or Cedar Point, Kings Island, or any of those some of those best coaster parks out there, you know. I never really got to. Until I really started living on my own and said, like, okay, I'm gonna start making trips to these, you know. So no, I don't have ESPN. I don't have cable. I don't even have TV. So yeah. However, I use my I have the login for my stepdad's Dish. So like he has like they have like Dish Anywhere where you can watch it on your phone or bring it up on your PC. But since I have that login, I have access to like some of the main channels, you know, like Fox and CBS and stuff like that, NBC. But he canceled the sports package stuff to save money, and he doesn't have ESPN anymore. So I don't have access to Monday Night Football unless they play it on ABC. Sometimes they have it on ABC. So sometimes, not every Monday they have it. So, and then when the Chiefs played on Monday night, I actually used my 14-day trial of YouTube TV to get access to that game. So you don't have a TV. I have a TV, but I just don't have cable or like channels and stuff. Like I have a TV in the living room and stuff like that, but I don't have like a cable or anything. I just can't afford cable it's either like here I sacrificed cable for better internet, basically. You know, I pay quite a bit of money for my internet each month, so I have nice high-speed internet because I know I'm a streamer and stuff. That's where I'm going to put my priorities, and you know, I just use the internet as my source of entertainment. You know, I don't really use that and streaming software, so like that and streaming services. So I just don't want to pay $60+ a month. You know, I'd rather save that money. You know, I just use it on internet. So if I was to ever, you know, make more every month, like if I made a lot more money, of course I'd probably get something, you know. I want some of the basic channels, at least, you know. That's all I would probably want. You lost to the worst fantasy teams. On the other hand, I saw that. On the other hand, I'm over here on a 3-game winning streak, and you kept telling me I wasn't going to make the playoffs, and I'm just like, I'm making a run right now, bruh. I'm really torn, though. Should I start Justin Fields over Josh Allen next week? Because Justin Fields has been freaking scoring like 40 points a game. Josh Allen's been pretty consistent, too, but like he hasn't been scoring that much. I feel like Justin Fields could be like a hit or miss. Like, at any time, he can have a really crappy game, but But YouTube TV, I did really like YouTube TV for the 14 days that I had it. You know, I actually considered getting it, but like I just wish there was like a cheap option, you know, where you didn't have to something that was cheaper than like I think it was $55 a month or something like that for YouTube TV, which would have been great. You know, it would have been fine, but which isn't too bad. That's actually one of the best deals I've seen. It was like $55 a month for like a lot of the basic channels. You can have different packages and stuff, but for what I would want, that's how much it would have costed, which again isn't bad. Like, but I would rather find something that's more like $10 or less that just has like a few channels or something. Some of the main channels, I don't know, kind of like maybe 60 channels or something. I really don't know, but you can't really find anything for that cheap. I did go through the Theme Maker's Toolkit and I found some new items. I'm gonna share with these guys with you guys. So I found these grass pieces, which I feel like could be really useful for like if you have like elevated pieces and instead of using terrain, you can just use these as your grass. And they actually look pretty nice if you compare it with like the regular grass texture. Here, let's go to a grassy area. It's a pretty nice texture, you know. It works. It looks like it would work pretty well. So I got Jimmy G as your fantasy QB. I've got Josh Allen and Justin Fields, and I've been starting Josh Allen every week. And I just picked up Justin Fields not too long ago as a second QB because I saw that Josh Allen may or may not have played because, you know, he hurt his I think it was elbow or arm last week. So I was actually on the fence of thinking of starting Justin Fields, and I should have because Justin Fields scored like 39 points to Josh Allen's like 19, you know. And Josh Allen didn't play the greatest game, so kind of sucked, but I still ended up winning, mostly because the other team didn't do the person I was playing against didn't even score 60 points. So, and I scored around. I still have 2 more people playing tonight, and I'm at like 68 points right now. So I didn't do that well this week in fantasy, but I did enough to win. So because I've already won, even though I still have 2 more people playing tonight. Because I think I have who's playing tonight on Monday night? It's is it Washington and the Eagles? Because I got Dallas Goedert and Antonio Gibson, I think, still left to play tonight. So calling the upset right now. If that's the matchup, I'm calling the upset. Washington gets the victory. Played against Andrew, so of course I go on it. See, I don't know these guys personally, so I don't know. Hey, Fluffy, you barely beat me when we played. You barely beat me. If Ryan Suckup would have kicked 1 more field goal, I would have won. You barely slipped by me. Barely. Just barely. Just keep that in mind. You didn't win by much. But now I'm coming back, baby. I'm gonna come back, slip into the playoffs. My team's 5-5 right now. Does Christmas start November 1st or Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving? For me, it's after Thanksgiving. Branson, however, says, oh, there's still 5 days until Halloween. We're gonna start putting up decorations now. If you ask Branson, it's before even freaking Halloween starts. Before even Halloween even finishes. Yeah, and I made a mistake on fantasy this week because I didn't know if Ezekiel, because I have Ezekiel Elliott as well. I didn't know if he was going to be out or not, and he ended up being out, so I missed out on points there, which kind of sucks. But it's okay. I ended up winning anyways, so I didn't know if he was going to be end up being in the game or not. So, and then after the game had already started, I was like, ah, crap, he's ruled as out. I tried to keep on the top of that stuff, but so I kind of messed up there. But I took that risk because I was like, oh, maybe he'll play, and still play because I'm kind of thin on running backs. So should have started like Isaiah Pacheco. I have Pacheco, but he hasn't really been a fantasy guy, so I just kind of picked him up as an extra. What's up, Blizzard Pup? See what's going on. We're just working on here. No one joined your fantasy league? Oh, no. I'm in 2 fantasy leagues right now. I got one for Silver Dollar. We have like a one for Silver Dollar City right now that we have, and then I have the one that I'm in with Fluffy as well. Oh yeah, he's got a lot of his starters on the bye. I saw that, so I got a little lucky this week. A lot of his big players were on their bye week, so that didn't help him out. But it was good for me. Yeah, I saw something about Zamperla, the rumor of Zamperla doing the Top Tail Dragster refurbishment. I did hear about that. Don't know. I say we'll just wait and see. I'm kind of just on that waiting, wait and see. Woohoo! Alright, sorry, I got my food. Sorry, I stopped abruptly there for a second. We should give you $10, but I'm not able to give you any. Don't need to worry about it. I don't know if you're talking to me, but yeah, don't worry about it. No need for donations. I make a good amount from ad revenue. I mean, not like a ton, but like, I feel like I make more on ad revenue than other channels my size would. Obviously, it's slowed down a little bit because I've been inactive, but... What? What are you saying my name for? Joseph. So for Wendell Me Too, I want to get it done so badly. Hopefully we'll... I think at this point, it's inevitable that it's not going to happen this year. So I think we'll have it ready for earlier next year. When I get to the off season, I'm gonna try and commit to get it done pretty quick. So I think we're gonna see more early 2023. So that's what I would say. Dude, theme park predictions is almost annoying with how unrealistic predictions are. And then 10 years ago, the park added Vekoma, so B&M starts to be on the way to this park. Yeah, I've watched some theme park predictions. I'm sure he's a great guy, a nice guy and stuff, but like some of his predictions are a little bit far-fetched. Like, he just posted one about Cedar Point if they would have replaced Top Thrill Dragster, it would have been he had this B&M Giga prediction at 354 feet and stuff. And I'm like, but you already have an Intamin Giga. And, like, what would be the point of B&M Giga? I get it would be probably more reliable and stuff, but, like, he was like, this one has 4 seats across instead of 2, so that makes it different enough. And I'm like, alright, sure, whatever. But whatever, I mean, he's got these crazy predictions that there's going to be a 500-foot spike on Top Thrill Dragster added, and I don't see it happening. Do I think it would be awesome? Absolutely. And then on top of that, an extended layout. I'm like, dude, you know how much that would cost? There would be absolutely no way. There's no way. I think you're overhyping it, man. I think he's legit way overhyping it. Do I hope maybe they end up doing something like that? Yeah, sure. Like, if they actually do that, holy crap, yeah. But, like, the problem is he's overhyping, he's hyping it way too much, and he's gonna set everyone up for disappointment. That's the thing. You're gonna set everyone up for disappointment. And I don't think it's wrong to, you know, predict big stuff or anything like that, but I think he's just hyping it up too much, because it, like, people are gonna be disappointed. Like, when he gets all these people hyped up, like, oh my gosh, they're gonna add a 500-foot spike, stuff like that, and, you know, they might actually. You never actually know. You never actually know, but, like, dude, if it ends up just being a LSM launch upgrade and that's it, you're gonna have so many people disappointed, and there's no reason to be disappointed in that. The fact of the matter is, gosh dang it, I just spilled all my tater tots. Well, not all of them, more like just 4 of them. But... wait, I could have swore another one fell on the ground. Where'd it go? 5-second rule. Anyways, did I hit a button? Ah, crap, I hit the auto. Must have hit a save button. That sucks. Not the tots. Not the tots! But yeah, I like watch his stuff mostly because I'm curious of what he's gonna say. But, you know. If he wants to predict that stuff, you know, he's more than has more than the right to do that, you know. But if you're gonna do that, I'd always have maybe more realistic predictions as well. Like, you can do both, but like, even say like, hey guys, this is really far-fetched, so I don't want to get people overhyped, but this is what I think could be the most ridiculous idea, you know? But instead, he's like dead set on that vertical spike being placed. Like, oh, they're tearing out the on-ride photo or gift shop or whatever that's right behind there, and that would be a perfect spot for the spike. Like, that, like, confirms it. And I just don't know if a 500-foot spike on a structure that big, would there be enough room to actually build that structure? Because you're talking 500 feet. You can't just go straight vertical. You have to have a lot of support there. You know, otherwise you're going to have might have structural issues. I mean, I'm no engineer, but I feel like if you're going to go 500 feet, you're going to have a pretty big structure for that 500-foot spike, you know. And then on top of it, he's talking about the having to extend the layout after the tower too, on top of the 500-foot spike. And I'm just like, geez, dude, like, calm down with this. I'm not saying it would. I'm not saying it wouldn't be like absolutely insanely awesome, but like, that's just some far-fetched stuff, man. You know how much that would cost? You know, at the end of the day, they're in it to make money, and they're not gonna spend $50 million on freaking upgrades to this ride. I mean, they very well could. I'm not saying they couldn't. They very well could, but I just want to keep my expectations low as, oh, they're just gonna upgrade they're just gonna change the launch to LSM. You know, that's really what I think they're gonna do. They're good, but you never know. They could very well make that big investment, but I'm very grateful that I did get to ride Top Thrill Dragster before the changes are being made, so. I never got to do the front, though. I never rode in the front. And I never rode in the front because I just wanted to get a ride in on it, because I was scared that it was going to shut down before I got on. Because I was in fear that it might shut down. You know? Hate on Coaster Enthusiast, or Coaster Studios a little too much. I like Coaster Studios. I've always liked Taylor. I've met him in person. He's a really nice kid, so. He's not really a kid anymore, but I think he just turned 25. He just had his birthday, but I didn't know he was that old. Like, I didn't know I was only 3 years older than him. I thought he was a lot younger than that. I like Taylor though. He's pretty cool. Like I said, I've met him a few times in person when he's visited SDC. I even shout him out a little bit too. I gave him and a few other enthusiasts an extra ride on Outlaw after closing. So I was also there when he was filming. This is the documentary, RMC documentary, which is really cool. Oh, you're 28 too? Sweet. We're about 28. Sweet. We're approaching those 30s. So I'm guessing you were born in 94 as well, huh? Yeah, I can't believe I'm approaching my freaking 30s. If like it's just ridiculous. I started SDC. I started working at SDC when I was 18, right after I graduated high school. And to think that I'm 28 now, absolutely insane. I don't feel like I'm that old either. Like I still feel young. I still feel like a kid, which is a good thing, I think. Like I still have energy. Like I still have energy. Like I don't feel like an old man yet. There's some days maybe, but like July of 94, we're only a month apart then. That means you're about a month older than me. So you're born in July. I was born in August of 94. So you're about a month older then. Look at that. Yeah, time just gets faster when you get older, man. Like, it gets faster. I can't believe that I'm so close to my 30s now. That's absolutely ridiculous to think for me. But I'm glad I still feel young and I don't feel that old, you know? I think that's the thing that matters most for me. I'm glad that I still feel youthful. And I don't know if it changes at a certain point and it just kind of like flips a switch, but you're the oldest. Seniority. I think Planko just appeals to that millennial desire to have control of things around them. Honestly, I feel like the average age viewing for my channel is probably very young. Like, I don't get people that are 28 that often. It's usually kids that are around, I would say, 10 to 20. I feel like, the teens. And I get a lot of, you know, so. And I'm totally cool with that, you know. And that's why a lot of people... Oh, I see a lot of people get upset that I'm more family-friendly oriented, but that's just how I am as a person, too. Like, if I leave here and I'm, you know, just hanging out with friends and stuff, I don't even curse. Like, I've never cursed in front of people or on my... Like, I just don't curse in general. Like, and I don't know if people understand that, you know. I like, just ask my wife. I do not curse. And I don't know why. I think it's, like, I don't know what it is. Like, it just... I'm fine when other people do it. Like, it's fine if people curse around me. I don't care. Like, sometimes it's even funny. But, yeah, some people... I don't know. Some people say they can't express themselves without using certain words. And I'm just like, yeah, you can. You can. That's what most people say. It's like, it's a freedom of speech thing, and I can't, I gotta be able to use these words to express myself. But I'm fine with curse words if it's used comedically. I think it's really fun. I don't use them myself at all, but when they're used comedically, I think it's great. Now, when it's used for hateful stuff and stuff like that, I think it's stupid. I think it's just a way to make yourself seem more tougher than you are. It's all just talk. Like when you have people that are angry and they're just dropping F-bombs all the time. Like, yeah, it's just all talk. That's my opinion. That's all it is. Like, it's just... Like, when I get a guest that's angry and start, say at SDC, they don't like one of our procedures, and, you know, or their kid's too short. I've seen them, you know, I've gotten cussed out many times at working at the park, you know. If you work anything, probably if you've ever worked retail, if you ever worked with anything that includes customers or, you know, just any people, you've probably been cussed out before. You know what I mean? You swear way too often. That's why, like, in the Discord, I've had people leave the Discord just because they didn't want to follow the rules, and, you know, they tried dropping F-bombs and stuff like that, and I'm just like, you know, there's kids in here, and I know the kids have heard it before, you know, but still, I just kind of want to keep it clean, and I started allowing, like, minor stuff, like, some of the minor words out there, like, I'm okay with that, like, just a few things. Because I'm like, okay, these minor ones are fine, you know, because I don't want to, you know, but, like, the major ones, like, you know, F-bombs and stuff like that, I don't really care for on the Discord. Those ones I kept. But, you know, just respect the rules. That's all you gotta do. It's just a rule that, you know, I kind of was hoping, you know, people would respect. And if you don't think that's fair, then you don't have to be on the Discord. You know, I don't really have many friends outside of, like, streaming and stuff. Like, I have a few. I mean, like, the only friends I really have are coworkers, and a lot of them have already quit the park, actually, but they swear all the time, and it's really, and then there's me, you know? Then you get to that point where I'm just like if I was to start swearing now, like, it would just be weird. I'm like really awkward when it comes to, like, I don't know, just socially. I'm kind of like, for instance, if you see me in person, I would act probably a lot different than I do here on stream. In streaming, like, I feel like I'm talking to people, but I don't see the people, you know? I just see messages on a screen. It's kind of like text messaging. Have you ever had that feeling, like, you have more confidence messaging someone than saying it in person? Like, say, if you're messaging a crush or something, you know? So, like, you have a little more confidence for some reason, because, you know, you're not facing the person in front of you right away. I don't know what it is. I have that really badly, you know? So, like, when I see someone in person, I'm a lot more shy. So if you ever see me at Sword Art City and stuff, you know, I'm not trying to ignore you or anything, but I am on the shyer side, you know? Because it is kind of weird when someone does recognize you and, you know... Yes, I ignore you, Fluffy. I ignore you every day. Every day. Of course I do. It's just like Silas. I gotta ignore Silas every time, too. That's just how it is. That's just how the way things work. But yeah, you know what I'm saying, though. Like, you're trying to, you know, talk to someone. Like, I always have more confidence when it's through messaging, for some reason. Like, I prefer to message people over human interaction. I hate human interaction. Like, you have all these old people that were complaining about self-checkout at Walmart, and everything's going to self-checkout. Ah, they're making us work and everything. I love it, because I don't have to interact with, you know, a cashier awkwardly, you know? Because I don't want to talk to anybody. I just want to, you know... And then you can bag anything the way you want. You're not really working. You're just checking out, bruh. I'm one of the ones that like the self-checkout. In fact, before they started changing to completely self-checkout, I was like, you know, I would go to self-checkout anyways. I find it more convenient. I like it better overall. But, you know, I guess the older generation grew up. See, the thing with the older generation, there's a lot of lovely people out there. A lot of lovely people, so don't get me wrong. But there's a lot of older... They're just very much stuck in their old ways. They don't like change, if that makes sense. They don't want to change with the world. They want to stick to what they know and everything like that, which is, in some cases, can be fine. But I'm very much on the, like when it comes to technology, like, you know, a lot of them don't want to learn it, you know, or they're impatient with it. You know, my dad is a really good example of that. He just switched to a smartphone for the first time last year. He has never had a smartphone in his life, and he vowed that he never would. And he kind of got to the point where he had to. Like, he didn't really have a choice anymore. Because, you know, they weren't really selling flip phones, because that's what he always had, was a flip phone. So he kind of had to give up his flip phone, because it was starting to go out on him. It lasted him for a long time, so I'll give him that. But he got to the point where he had to get something new, and they only had like one flip phone choice, and it wasn't really good. So I finally got him to get a smartphone, and I told him, like, if you be patient with me, I will show you how this works. You can do so many more things with it. Like, just trust me. So he even made his own Facebook account and everything for the first time, and all that fun stuff. So I showed him how all to do it, and he got through it just fine. And, you know, all it takes is a little patience, and I'm like, if he can do it, anyone can, you know what I'm saying? You know, some older people are okay with technology more than others. Some just, you know, they think it's the worst thing in the world for some reason. Like, when I start growing old and stuff, I can tell you right now, I'm excited for what technology can bring. Like, the next technology, all this different technology coming to us. Like, I'm just excited for it. I can't wait to see what the next big thing is. I want more of it, you know? Just how I am, you know? It's just kind of like, you know, you have some people that are just like, can't believe, like, that they're just despise video games and stuff. Which, you know, whatever. But, like, now, there's a difference between, like, there's a difference between, you know, like, being addicted to video games. Like, I would say I mean, I play a decent amount of video games, but I'm not, like, you know, it's not what I do with my entire time throughout the day, you know? It's a good chunk of it, a big chunk of it, actually, but as I eat my burger. But, you know, people, like, because people are, they're always like, oh, you need to go out and have interactions with people and stuff. I don't think they realize how much video games can, like, especially, like, online games and stuff, can really actually be very beneficial for you meeting new people, and also your communication skills, because a lot of games you have to have, it helps with your communication skills, something that I'm not really good at, by the way. You know. But, like, there's a lot more in there than I think they realize that is actually very beneficial. But, you know. And it's a really good form of entertainment and stuff. And like, games like Planet Coaster, you can really push your creativity and stuff, too. I've always been more into simulation games more than anything. I'm not a big first-person shooter guy. there's some shooter games that I like, but like never been my thing. Never really have. But maybe that's just me. I don't know. Just like never had any interest in Call of Duty and stuff. I just don't like Call of Duty. I've tried playing it multiple times, but I just can't get into it. I really can't. I just love simulation games in general. And obviously, since I fell in love with like parks and coasters and stuff, naturally theme park simulators have been my favorite genre, of course. But as a kid, I always really liked games like The Sims and just that was another big one I played a lot. Roller Coaster Tycoon, of course, and those are the main ones. I never really played Zoo Tycoon. Like it was always just theme parks. Like that's what I wanted to do was theme parks. I've always loved the idea of, I don't know, when a new ride is announced or not announced and you're just watching this construction of a ride being built. There's a cat in my office and I didn't know she was in here. How did you get in here? When did you get in here, cat? They slip in here so easily sometimes. By the way, Fluffy, you need to play your preseason game. If you haven't already. Maybe you have already. I just haven't been online since you have, but I want to play more franchise. Five Nights at Freddy's. I have played it on stream before. I was a big fan of those games while they were coming out. I hadn't played the Pizza Simulator one, which is basically FNAF 6, and I haven't played Security Breach or anything like that. I've seen playthroughs of it, but I have played the first few on the channel before. My introduction to that game was funny because at the time Jessie, now my wife, she was not my wife at the, then she was just my girlfriend, and she was like, hey, I want you to play this game. I had never heard of it yet. Didn't know what it was. She didn't tell me controls. She didn't say anything. And I had to go into it blind. And of course, I got through the first night barely. I didn't even know what was going on. Like, I didn't know how to play or what was going on, but somehow I made it through the first night. No, I've already been invested in the lore enough. I've watched all of, Game Theory stuff on that. Like, no, I already had been invested in it, so, no need to even worry about that. I've already had been invested on those stories. Like just watching Game Theory try to put together a a timeline that makes sense for those games. That's the thing. I love games that just have mysteries to the lore. Because it just causes lots of speculation, and that queue turned out really good. I need to put some covers in it or something. At least put in some fans. We should put some fans in there. It Takes Two. It's one of the best games you ever played. I don't think I've ever heard of it. Takes Two. Yeah, I don't think I've ever heard of what the heck is that? Why are you rotating that way? How does that make sense? Why are you rotated that way? I get that this is tilted, but like, bruh. Okay. We'll do that to move it. Welcome back, Silas. And we'll throw a few in here wherever we can. Fluffy, play your games and franchise. I'm waiting on you. Get to the regular season. I don't know if you heard me the first time, but... Most creative game? What kind of game is it? I don't think I've ever seen it. I should look it up now. So pretty. Action-adventure platform video game developed by Hazlight Studios and published by Electronic Arts. Ugh, EA. And it was released for Nintendo Switch. It Takes Two. Co-op platformer, gotcha. I like platformers. It's the only good game they have made recently. They used to make really good games back in the past. Like, EA used to be really good. But recently, it's, they have been lovely with microtransactions. Now, I will say, EA games, any of the EA games that don't have microtransactions are actually not too bad. Even, like, today's standard. I mean, Fallen Order, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, actually pretty good. Because, well, it doesn't have microtransactions. Any game that involves microtransactions with EA is usually garbage. It just kind of depends sometimes. So, I'm pretty excited for Jedi Survivor, so hopefully it'll be good as well, just as good, but... Anything that makes it to where you have to pay to win is just garbage. That's like, if you want to win at this game, give us money. If not, you're going to have to grind out 50,000 hours just to get to this point. And you're not going to have much success because you're not going to win much because you have to give us money to win. I haven't watched Andor yet. Yeah, I didn't think it had microtransactions. It didn't look like a game that would. Kind of figured that, which is definitely good. That's a positive. Always take that as a positive. Never put a vertical piece on the ends of these ones yet. I should definitely do that. You're right. I still haven't watched Stranger Things 4. You know, I actually brought it up one night to Jess. I was like, hey, maybe we should watch something. Maybe watch a series or something. And then when I brought it up, I was like, hey, you want to watch Stranger Things 4? It would have been the perfect opportunity. She was like, I want to watch something, but not Stranger Things 4. And I was like, okay. I tried, though. Can't say I didn't try. I don't want to watch it without her. I mean, I could easily watch it now without her if I wanted to, but I know she probably wants to see it too, and I don't want to get in trouble. I've gotten in trouble in the past. Because she's like, I really wanted to watch that with you. And I'm like, oh. You should have said something. And I don't want to get in trouble. It's not fun. Watch with you on stream. See, I could do that, but I'll get in trouble just for saying that. So... trying to figure out if I want to have much more backstage maintenance areas over here on the way back here. Or how I should go about that. Both owns it, the other can download it, the friend pass for free, and play with the other friend who owns it. Wow, that's actually pretty cool. That sounds very un-EA-like. Like, I feel like they would be way different from that. Just saying. Banning. Eat dinner now, be back in an hour. Alright, sweet. Sweet, sweet. Trying to think if there's any... I'm trying to go through and see if we need to polish much more. I'm thinking about putting a roof on the top part here. For this, this path going over the railroad. Mississippi Tea Party. So I was thinking, so I got these, this grass, good item. I was thinking about using this instead of what we did here. I think it might look a lot better. Let's go and test that theory out by editing scenery group. And it might actually use less pieces too, so instead of these hedges, you know, we could use, let's just do a small sample size here. Like I said, it would probably use less pieces as well, so it actually would probably benefit the park a lot by using these. And I think this one piece will actually fit in here. Almost. the other way. I think it's 4x4, so... It's a tight squeeze if it's gonna fit. I don't think it is. It's gonna be just shy. That's okay. I don't know if these fight textures. They do. Okay. So we're just gonna have to... that. So it's a game you have to have someone else play with you, is what you're saying. I mean, it makes sense that it's called It Takes Two, so you would think you would need 2 people, right? Let's see, how's that look? Looking pretty good. Like I said, this will use a lot less pieces as well, so I think it will kind of help. Not only that, I think it will actually make it look a little bit better, because the idea was this is going to kind of look like grass kind of in here, but it didn't look the greatest. So, by using these guys, it kind of makes it look a lot better, so. I know I spent a lot of time on this, on these, this, but honestly, I think this will just upgrade it visually and also help with optimization a bit too, because I am getting rid of a lot of objects and replacing them with less objects. So I think it'll help. It's just the hedge piece. There's a hedge piece, and that's all it is. Is all I was using. This looks a lot more natural and real. So we're gonna go with it. And I found this on the ThemeMaker's Toolkit on the workshop, so figured it'd be quite nice. Yeah, that green bees piece is in game. It's just a hedge. It's a hedge piece. That's all it is. If I donate, question about Sea of Thieves, will you read it? Wait, what? What are you trying to say there? Are you saying if you donate, will I read something from Sea of Thieves? A question about Sea of Thieves? I know you won't read my chats about it, so make sure before I do it. I mean, sure. I'll read it. I'm not saying I'm playing Sea of Thieves, but I'll read. I mean, I want to play Sea of Thieves again. I just don't know when yet. I made a mess with my drink. I got it all over myself. That's not fun. Hope Blanco 2 has a co-op feature. Me too, man. Like, I hope Frontier realizes they need multiplayer in the game. I mean, come on, it's 2022. It's time to have co-op sim games. You know what I'm saying? Let us be creative together. I mean, let us have, like, multiplayer where you can have, like, I don't know, at least 4 people or so, I would say. That'd be great. We can have at least, like, 4 people or so playing in the park at the same time. Could you imagine how fast you could make a park? Like, okay, guys, you work over there on those fences. I'm gonna go work on this ride scenery. You guys work on paths, and you go do this. Like, a park could come together so quickly. That would be amazing. I would absolutely love it. Like, Frontier, come on. Give it to us. By the way, it probably would be. I think I saw someone mention, I forgot who it was, but I didn't say it out loud. I did read it, though. Like, we do need to get Wendleverse done, probably before Hogwarts Legacy comes out. Because I am gonna be in that game for so long. It's not even funny. I am going to be playing the heck out of that game when it comes out. I've wanted that game for so long. I absolutely love the world of Harry Potter. And I've been waiting for an open world game where we can just literally, explore the world and stuff. Silas with a $1.99 super chat. Can the Burnt Bananas please play Human Fall? I actually just installed Human Fall Flat. I actually just installed it, Silas. So actually, I would be down to play that. Yes, I actually just bought it because my wife and some other friends were playing it, and I asked about the game. And I was like, "Hey, what game is that?" And they're like, "Oh, it's kind of like a puzzle game and stuff." So I literally, that was literally like 2 nights ago. And we actually started playing. I played it for the first time, and I actually had a lot of fun playing it. So, not out of the realm of possibility, Silas. So that was actually a valid question. We could play it, and I think it'd be fun to stream as well. Jackbox, yeah, Jackbox is fun. I will say, it's not as fun when it's family-friendly. Like, the non-family-friendly Jackbox is definitely the most fun, but it's still a lot of fun. Because I've played with other friends before, like, not on my channel or anything. When it's non-family-friendly, that's when it gets really funny. Just saying. Oh, you saw on Discord me playing it? Yeah, I was playing with my wife and some friends. Because I'd watched them play it before, and I was like, oh, what game is this? It reminded me of Gang Beasts when I first saw it. I was like, is this something like Gang Beasts? But it's like a puzzle game, so it was actually really funny. And I feel like the Burnt Banana crew would have a blast on that. But thank you for the super chat, Silas. I do appreciate it. Even though it was just get me to read a question, I do appreciate it. Virtual Monopoly is my favorite part. Game. I like Monopoly. Monopoly's fun. I haven't played Monopoly in a long time. I do like me some Monopoly. You know, what's really fun with Monopoly is when you play it with real money. The party game, gotcha. Virtual Monopoly is your favorite party game. Yeah, I was kind of confused, like, reading it, too. I was like, I think you meant something else. I think the Y didn't get in there. It's basically just Monopoly, I'm guessing. Didn't know, I'd imagine. Hey, Jake, what's up? I'm just replacing my grass. Yes, you are here. Thanks for being here. Yeah, party game. Party. We should have some party streams. Just party. I want to bring back more interactive streams again. Really interact with the chat and stuff, where we can all just have fun, have a good time. Whether it's Jackbox, marbles, just stuff like that. Replacing grass, yes. I'm actually replacing these hedges because I found this on the Steam Workshop. These, it's actually a Theme Maker's Toolkit item, and I think they look a lot better and more realistic, so I'm gonna go with them. As much as I did do a lot of work putting in those hedges, this will also help with the optimization, because there's gonna be a lot less of these pieces here compared to these. Because who knows how many of these I put in? Answer is a lot. Look at that. 1,700 items. Who knows how much it was before I started taking a lot of these out. When we're playing a zoo level grass, it's kind of similar just to the regular grass texture a little bit, except I think it has a little bit extra detail. Like, it looks a little bit more like grass. You can compare the two, and obviously it's a little brighter, a little lighter. Because the idea with these hedges is this was supposed to be kind of like some grass, but obviously it doesn't look as good, so I'm going to use these. And I'm going to be putting a lot of, there's some stuff in these, it's not just going to be plain grass. I think so. Like, there'll be some trees and stuff on them. All that fun stuff. Alright, now we just gotta fill in our gaps here. As best as we can. Little Tourist Park is almost done. Yeah, we're getting close to the final stages here too, because I'm basically mostly in the polishing stages of my park. Like, the park and rides are already done. You just need to do, it's just mainly scenery and stuff, and kind of polishing and finishing up different areas or different spots and all that fun stuff. So, like, the park itself, like, you can see, like, this is a park, you know, this is a park. But, like, a few of the backstage areas, like this road and stuff like that, and then finishing up the outside world a bit. Hedges do look tacky. Exactly! Exactly. So I'm doing a lot of positives here. Not only are we optimizing the park better by removing a lot of objects, because this will make the object count a lot less because these pieces are very small, but it also looks better too. So it's like a win-win situation here. Like, this will also just make it look a lot more realistic and a lot better. I got the hedge idea from another picture, but I feel like mine didn't turn out as well as that picture did, because I based it off of that, and they had like some roads and stuff like that, and then they had like these little areas like in between the roads, and it had grass, and I couldn't tell what it was, and I'm pretty sure it was these hedges, so that's what I went with. But so but after I found these grass pieces, I immediately thought, like, oh, I should put these in the place of those. Like I said, these are a lot bigger, so it's going to use a lot less pieces, which might help with a little bit with the optimization. Yes, it's a ThemeMaker's Toolkit item, but, you know, I have no problem with using ThemeMaker's Toolkit items. I know some people do because they think it slows the game down, but I've never really had an issue with it slowing the game down. When they first came out with ThemeMaker's Toolkit, yes, they did have a big issue with it, but they did have an update that actually kind of fixed it, so for the most part. And I downloaded a few more ThemeMaker's Toolkit items. I got some more that I have now. What are the grass pieces called? They have different sizes and stuff. Grass field. So if I go here, it's all these ones right here. They have a lot of different ones. They have the circle as well. So if you made like a little planter area, you could just use the circle, which is kind of cool. They have a 2x2 piece. They have I'm using the 4x4 piece, which is the bigger one. They have small pieces. They have triangles and 90-degree triangles and small triangles. Oops. Accidentally pushed the Steam button. And really small triangles, so you can really get those little spots too, as well. So if you find yourself in a small space, you know. Why not use the terrain? Because it's too close. So, like, if I tried to use this here, it's just gonna... since it's right next to a path, that's the... I can't raise this section here, like on the edge, see? That is why I can't really use them. And it's really hard... Just terrain in general in Planet Coaster is kind of wacky to use when it comes to, like... especially when you have close edges like this, it makes it next to impossible. You have to form it around these little wedges. So that's why these come in handy for a lot, you know, because a lot of people might say, like, why don't you just use the terrain tool, you know? That's why. Like, I wish they would get rid of collision with paths, because it really does kind of suck. I wish there was an option to turn it on and off, because it is nice to have it on when you're trying to form it around a path. Like, say, if you're trying to make a little cave or something like that, it is useful for that regard. But when you're doing stuff like, say, like this and stuff, it actually gets really annoying, so, and doesn't really work out. I wish you could turn collision on and off with it. ThemeMaker's Toolkit makes it so much easier, though. I've been stuck on consoles since your PC broke. Gotta get a lot more creative with only the game pieces. True. ThemeMaker's Toolkit is a blessing. For sure. In fact, let me see if I can find some of the newer items that I've downloaded now. Because I've downloaded a few. I downloaded these B&M invert brakes, like this. They're actually animated as well. So, like, if you push play, you can see they do animate, so you can trigger them. And then there's these drive tires as well that are actually animated as well. And they're flexi color. Pretty nice. They're actually pretty nice looking. I might actually use them, so they can be very useful for some stuff. I got those. What else did I get? I'm just gonna scroll through here and see. I got a couple more clocks. These clocks look really nice whenever I need some clocks. And they have different sizes as well. I had the small one, but I didn't have the two larger ones for some reason. Really cool. Just repurposing different pieces and such, right? Like using them for different things, like say you can use a door as a wall instead of as a door, or it's stuff like that, or like a path texture or something. I also got, oh, that's what I got, new mulch pieces, as they're called. I got these, I found these little rock mulch pieces as well, which could be really nice. Also pebble mulch, which would actually be kind of a nice detail for some stuff. So those are nice. I think I got a dirt floor too, yeah. Don't know if I'll ever use it for anything, but, you know, you never know. You never know. And then I got a new letters, some new letters here. Little Jurassic letters. I feel like I could use those for a lot of things. Not just for, like, if I'm trying to make a Jurassic Park theme thing, but I feel like I really like the fonts for these as well. I got 2 sizes for each one, too. So I downloaded these as well, because I like the Jurassic font as well, and they're recolorable as well, so I feel like you could use them on multiple different things. But yeah, I got a lot of these little pebble pieces, and rock pieces as well, so I think they're pretty nice, and I could use them for a lot of stuff. Yes, all Silas cares about is Shrek. My goodness, with Shrek. Not true. Not, you gotta prove to me a little more that you're not obsessed with Shrek. Oh, I got the Cedar Fair sign. I thought this was cool. If I ever want to make a Cedar Fair park, there's like a little Cedar Fair logo. It looked really cool, so I downloaded it anyways. You make a park file and just place one top of each other toolkit items and then post to the workshop so we can just download all of those awesome items one fell swoop. I mean, I never really thought about that. I mean, I could do that. That would be a lot of work, but it would make it to where there's not a, it would be less work for you guys. So it would be a kind courtesy thing. I got Chinese, apparently. I got a tornado sign. I thought this sign was pretty cool. If I have anything named Tornado. I actually like that sign a lot, so I was like, I might use that. So I downloaded it. It's a really cool sign. Oh, what else did I download? I downloaded quite a bit of new stuff. I unsubscribed from a few things. Some of these things I don't even know where they came from. I'm just like, when did these come in? Yeah, it is a cool sign. That's why I got it. Like, who's this? Who's this? She looks animated. I don't know what she's doing. Oh, she's dancing. Okay, like, I don't remember downloading that. It must have been from a park or something. You know, because if you don't have all the toolkit items, you have to download them. It might have been from... Most of those things like that came from, like, stuff like that, so... I still have a lot of stuff that I'll never use. Like, what the heck is this? Rolling timber. Shrek. Oh, gosh. No. Buy him now. Bury him now. What is with you and Shrek? See, you're not helping your case that you're obsessed with. Got Mario. Snow globe. It's a little coaster snow globe. That's cool. Like I said, some of these I don't even realize I have because they download when you install stuff. Here you go. Here's your Shrek, Silas. Oh, parts list. I don't know. I really like. I need to get that to you. I keep putting it off, and it's my fault. I feel really bad because I haven't gotten that to you yet. You know what? I will try and get that to you. Like, I haven't even like I just realized I haven't been responding to you every time you ask me that too. It's really bad. I'm not putting him in there. I'm not gonna make people download Shrek just to open my park. But I'm sorry, Jake, for not getting that to you. I should have had that to you a long time ago. I need to go back on there and see what I can come up with. It was my idea to begin with. To build you a PC. I just kind of worry about, like, I guess I'm kind of worried about, like, the shipping and stuff, because I've never really had shipped PCs before, and I want to make sure I do it right. So I need to look up what's the best way to ship them, because I don't want anything to, like, break in shipping or something, because that would suck. Like, what packaging to use, and I don't know how much shipping's gonna be. So it's like, kind of a thing. Oops. If I could figure out Blender, I would make them myself. Yeah, see, I actually had an attempt at one point to actually create my own Theme Maker's Toolkit item. I almost had it. All I was doing, my test item, all it was a sign with a picture on it. Like, it's just a normal rectangular sign, and it just had a custom image on it. That was going to be my, that's all it was going to be, you know, so nothing hard to create in, like, Blender or anything, because I think I was using Blender. And I got so close, everything was succeeded on uploading, and then when I got into the game, it was an invisible item. It was like, you couldn't see it, and I was like, what did I do wrong? Like, I finally got it successfully to upload and everything, and then when I finally used it, it's just invisible. It was invisible, and I was, like, so upset, because I worked on hours trying to figure that out. So, hey, Tyler, what's up? It has been a while. It has. I was away from streaming for a bit, and taking, like, a much-needed personal break, you know, so I don't, mentally destroy my brain, I guess you could say. Because I've been wanting to stream, but I just couldn't get myself to do it for a while. And I've had a lot of free time to do it, which is the crappy part, because it sucks that I ended up taking a break now when I had a lot of free time, because I had that week that SDC was closed. I didn't stream at all during that. Which is crazy. And I probably should have. But, like, it's just kind of an unfortunate timing when I feel like I need that break, you know? When I have time to stream a lot. But, you know, it happens. You know, off-season's coming up, so, you know,
Hopefully I'll be getting a lot of content to you guys during that off season. But I can't complain. This has been the best year for my channel of all time, so I can't complain too much. Like, for previous years, it doesn't even compare. When I put the analytics, compare the analytics from all the other years I've been doing YouTube, doesn't even come close. Like, this has been the best year. I don't like to talk about how much money I've made, but, like, I've made more ad revenue this year than I have on my entire channel, I think, combined since I started the channel. I'm pretty sure. Like, more than. Like I said, I think I'm doing a lot better than I'm supposed to be, which is crazy. Like, there was like a couple months where I'm just like, how the actual heck did I get that much revenue for that month? And when I say that, I'm like, I don't make a ton of money on YouTube or anything, but like, like I'm just surprised. It just kind of surprised me, you know. And the fact that we've been growing so fast is crazy. We've been slowing down lately because I've been inactive, but like I'm about to hit 8,300 subs. That's pretty cool, right? You know, we hit 8,000 not long ago and we're already almost 8,300. That's crazy. I gained 1,000 subs in like 3 months worth. That was a crazy, like 7 to 8,000 was really fast. I think at the beginning of the year we were at 6,000 something, and now we are over 8,000 on our way to 9, you know. Like, it's gonna be a huge milestone when I hit that 10. Like, that's just crazy. Like, 10,000 is like a crazy... That's like that big first crazy one. Obviously, you have probably 1,000 is probably your first big one that you're like, when you're really small. And you're like, wow, 1,000 people, that's a lot. And then you hit 5,000 and it's like, that's a lot too. But then when you hit 10, it's just like, something about 10,000. 72-hour stream, what? And you know, it's not like I gained all these overnight. This is like, this channel has existed since 2014, so it's been going on for like 8 years. And what really inspired me is when I watched all those Roller Coaster Tycoon videos of like just people showcasing their park, like, you know, cinematic videos, you know, like Silverette and stuff. That's the stuff that inspired me to start my own channel. And because I'm like, man, I want to make videos like that. That would be so cool to create my dream parks. You know? And that's kind of where it kind of took off. And then Theme Park Studio was a thing, which really kickstarted my channel off a lot. I don't know if you guys remember that game, but it was an indie game that was a theme park sim that had a lot of potential. I was losing hope that there was going to be another, or a successor to Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, because I was like, man, we haven't gotten a new game in like 10 years, you know, and, you know, I was losing hope, and then Theme Park Studio gave me hope that there could potentially be a successor. And then after Planet Coaster got announced and Roller Coaster Tycoon World, at the time I was super excited for World. And I actually, more so than Planet Coaster, because I didn't know what to expect from Planet Coaster, and I was a little worried, like, I don't know what it's going to entail. But then once Planet Coaster started coming out with stuff like more trailers, and, you know, showing gameplay, I was like, oh my gosh, that's it. That's the game I've been waiting for. And that's why it's been my most played game of all time, because Planet Coaster is that game that I waited for since Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. And I've been playing it ever since until the next one comes out, you know? That's why I really would hope for a sequel, because if they could improve off of Planet Coaster 1, if they create another one, a sequel that, you know, that takes everything good from the first one and fix all the bad stuff, or at least a lot of the bad stuff, you know? Who knows? You know, who knows where Planet Coaster 2 could be? Like, I feel like Planet Coaster 2 could be in that legendary status of theme park simulators out there. I mean, legendary. You know, I got some stuff to do, but... And I just wish they would have continued on supporting Planet Coaster. I wish they didn't stop updating it. That's my one kind of gripe with Frontier. I know they've been busy with, like, Planet Zoo, and that's kind of like their game they've been updating, but... I still wish there was a small team working on Planet Coaster to fix, like, a lot of bugs and just to polish the game more and more. Like, keep patching it and stuff. And continue to work on some of the issues with the game. You know, small updates. I wish they would have at least continued to do... No, I think Planet Coaster is legendary, but I think the second game could, like, just be beyond, you know, like, something we've like, the most incredible thing we've ever seen. Now, Planet Coaster 2 could be that game for me if they do a few things. They don't have to do all of our requests, but some of the big ones would be multiplayer. That would be one of the bigger ones out there. All the coaster types that we want, the extra coaster types, Mach Extreme Spinning Coaster, get that in the game. Why is that not in Planet Coaster? You know, an RMC Raptor and Intamin Blitz. Those three are the big three that I really want in the game the most. And there's a lot of other ones I want, but those are the big three ones that I would love to have in the game for sure. And there's a lot of other ones, like, trust me, there's a lot of others that I want in there. That would be another thing, is just more coaster types and more coaster functions, as in switch tracks, drop tracks, and all the stuff, like all that fun stuff, you know, swing switch tracks where you could do the, you know, kind of like a Pantheon, or you could do Hagrid's Magical Creatures Motorbike Adventure, like switch tracks for that, and then also drop tracks. Yeah, do that. Do those. Get those in the game. Get that kind of stuff. And don't make it specific to certain coasters. I want to see them put in functions where you could do anything on any coaster type. Now, I could see them doing it for, like, if you're doing, like, a scenario mode to where you'd be limited on those, because... Tilt Track, yes, that's another one. Tilt Track. Why is that not? That's in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. How is that not in this one, you know? Multiple stations. Good point. I almost forgot about that. Multiple stations where you can have, like... Or just unload stations as well. So you can have multiple stations where you can unload. Or at least have, like, an unload station, if that makes sense. So, like, you can't load there, but, like, it's an unload station. Which would be kind of cool. Unload stations would be great. Now, I wouldn't say it would completely make the game worthless if they didn't have it, but I do want to see unload stations for sure. Because there's a lot of coasters that do have that. Different colors, and different colors for each train as well. I don't know why this isn't a thing. If I have a wooden coaster and I run 3 trains on it, allow me to have a red train, a blue train, a green train, you know? Where the trains can have different colors. I think even the old Roller Coaster Tycoons allowed that, which is cool. Is there a coaster with 2 completely different stations? Not necessarily. That's why I said maybe use it as an unload station, not a load station. So, like, if you have 2 stations, like, one is the load station, one is the unload station. Like, you could do that style. So they load here, but they unload out here, and stuff like that. That would be great. But those are, if they have that stuff in there, I'd be amazed. And then backstage areas, this is something that's probably going to happen because of Planet Zoo. They have staff paths where only staff members can walk on. I think that will be a thing as well, where we have backstage areas. And I think backstage areas could play a good role in Planet Coaster 2. We could have stuff that more simulation aspects to the game, you know, like different like maintenance buildings and storage buildings and stuff like that. They could add so much more simulation to the game, which would be really, really cool. Toggle, and this is kind of a dream for me too, Coaster. I was actually going to get to this point. The lead cards with different themes for coasters not locked to the same one. Same with flat rides. So like, I would love to see a train designer. It doesn't have to be crazy. It doesn't have to be insane. But like, for instance, if we could design the train as in like, just be able to add billboards to the front. So like, let's just say the Aero Coaster here, I just want to put the logo of the ride on here. I'll go into Photoshop, make a PNG where there's no background, and just put the logo on the front of the ride. Or the park logo. A lot of them put the name of the park on there as well. And be able to move it around to wherever I want. So it's kind of like you can place it and then place it anywhere on like the front or side. At least do the front and sides, where you can actually place it on the structure or texture. And then for those that don't want to do import their billboard, make it to where you can like maybe type something as well. You can kind of do the show coaster name, which is already kind of a thing on some of the rides. But I'm not talking about like that, but you can like type and then move wherever, and you can kind of maybe create your own logo with a set of tools. Like maybe they have some shapes in there and stuff like that that you could use, and you create your own logo. So that would be kind of neat. Nothing too insane, you know, something that is easy to use for everyone. I think at least have billboards. At least have billboards where you could place it and then change the size of it too. You know, it's just kind of like, that way you can really make each coaster train look a little more unique from the last one. And then also maybe have different styles on each track. So like, instead of, say, this would save a space and it would actually kind of get rid of all this clutter. You just have the track types and not the trains, and you swap the trains on the track. So for instance, I have an Aero Coaster here. If I want to have Vekoma trains, which obviously with the mod, I can put any train on there I want. But really, you only need one Aero track design. You don't need, like, 2 different boomerangs and count it as 2 different coasters. That's the same coaster. It just has 2 different trains. That's literally the only difference. So literally, you only need one of these, and then you just swap what train you want on there. That's really all that needs to be. It gets rid of the clutterness on here. Same with, like, if, you know, like, some of the B&M tracks are exactly the same. So, like, for the floorless and the, floorless and then maybe the sit-down can have the same track, and you just change the trains. Like, that's all. Really, you just go by track type. Like, B&M, thicker B&M, and then all of these track types you can do anything with. You can put launches on them, you can put lifts on them, switch tracks, drop tracks. They can do all the functions. You're just choosing what type of track you want, and then put whatever train that is available for that as well, if that kind of makes sense. Now, a couple of them make sense. So, like, if you have a regular B&M track, and then an inverted track would have to be its own track type. That makes sense. So, like, you could have, like, the floorless / sit-down / I think the dive coaster has a bit thicker track, so I wouldn't say that one, but maybe the a few others. And then the inverted coaster would be separate from that, because obviously it's inverted. So, unless they create a function where you're like, this is the track I want, I can do inverted version of it, or I can do a regular version. And you can do that with all the tracks, too. That'd be kind of cool, too. But yeah, Sky Coasters for Planet Coaster 2 would be cool. But yeah, just allow every coaster track to have every function just do it. The more customization, the better. That way we don't have to mod the game as much. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, man, like, I would love transfer tracks, transfer, switch tracks, and drop tracks. Just need to be in the game, and make them customizable enough as well, you know? That would be absolutely crazy. And then as for biomes, give us an ocean biome. I think everyone's asking for that, so you can create like a Cedar Point or something, where you can build a beach front or something like that, where it's just water beyond, which would be really, really cool to be able to create that illusion where it's just nothing but water in the distance. Pre-existing terrain. Rotating station platforms would be nice too. Yeah, for like, that's another thing. Water rides. They need to put more detail in water rides. Really, they just kind of threw these in here. The log flume and the rapids ride were just kind of thrown in there, I feel like. Like, all right, here's some water rides that you can have. But they didn't have enough options. The rapids rides needs to have an elevator lift. There's rapids rides being built with elevator lifts. You need different styles for the rafts and stuff like that. I don't know. I feel like I have to use the mod just to get those the way I want. Because same with like the, you know, the log ride. Like, for instance, why, like, if you're using without the mod, you'd have to do like a lift tilt like this, and then you have to do this. But if you want to go straight into a drop after the lift, it has to look like this, which makes no sense. Like, what is this? Like, no, I just want to drop right off. That's what I want to do. I just want to drop into it. But in order to have that, you can't really do that unless, of course, you are using the mod where you can. I think you do it with the mod if you just use the regular lift? Yes. So it would kind of look like this. You have to use the mod in order to do this, and I don't even know if this functions the best because you can't even use the splashdown midsection. Like, you can't do any of those, which kind of sucks. Because if you use the mod, you can't even use the splashing section. Cannot place that here. You gotta have to come off of a drop like this in order to use it. The pre-drop, so. Which kind of sucks. Yeah, Rapids turntable. That's another thing that I'm surprised they didn't decide to put in either, so. I'm not sure if you can do the mod on Mac or not. That's a good question. Because I'm not sure. Oh yeah, human fall flat. It's only like $5 right now. There's a deal on it until like the 22nd, I think. Whirlpool drops would be awesome for the water rides too. Is it on Game Pass? That's cool. I have Game Pass as well, so. But I got it on Steam, so. Not built for Mac. I always get curious, Silas. Since you said you're on Mac. Since you're on Mac, I got a question. Who games on a Mac anyways? Why? They're not gaming for gaming, really. And I don't understand when people complain, like, why don't they make it for Mac? This is why I hate Apple. I don't like Apple products that much, because they're so separate from everything else. They have to have their own thing. Like, you can't just download regular programs. It also has to have Mac support. If it doesn't have Mac support, you're out of luck. So what's the point? What would be the point of getting a Mac at that point? Because everything's built for just regular PCs, and there's more content there, in my opinion. You know, a lot of programs do make a Mac version as well, but the fact that you have to make a Mac version is just ridiculous. Like, that's just dumb. I will say they're probably good for like doing like work. I don't know how to say it, like homework stuff and stuff like that, like just office stuff. I will say they're probably really good for that stuff, but for gaming and stuff like that and using them for programs, like, no. That's just me. I just, if you're doing gaming, just get a PC. Like, don't do Mac. I just love it when Mac users just complain, like, why didn't they make this game for Mac? And I'm like, bro. Because Macs aren't for gaming. I was gonna say, they're not even that good to run games that much. They're not built for gaming. They're built for more like office work, and which again they do really well at, but it's just overpriced too. Like, it's just overpriced, man. Like, how much? I am curious. How much is a freaking, what is it, MacBook Pro? How much are these things? Freaking thousands of dollars. There's one for, I don't see anything under $1,000. Oh, there's one. MacBook Pro, Core i7. What are the specs on this thing? $900. I don't even know. This one's Best Buy. This one that I'm looking at now is 1,000. Wait, how much? Well, $1,150. Let's take a look at the specs of this thing, shall we? For this MacBook Pro, I want to see this kind of like specs of this thing. What is this? Storage capacity, 256 gigs, that's it? You're only getting 256 gigabytes for almost $1,200, and you don't even have a terabyte of storage? That's stupid. Only 8 gigs of RAM. What the actual crap? 8 gigs of RAM? Like, you can't game on that. You can barely even game on that. Graphics, like I said, it's not for gaming. It really isn't. But, like, that is overpriced. That is messed up. I could build you a PC with these specs for, like, probably $300. And the graphics is Apple M2 10-core, whatever that is. Kind of like their own graphics. It doesn't really have a graphics card. It's probably just literally off the board and stuff. That just hurts me that they're charging that much for specs that crappy. That doesn't make sense, man. 8 gigs of memory. 256 gigs of SSD. I mean, at least it's an SSD, but like that, you should be getting over a terabyte at the least for that price. I bought my regular laptop for, my laptop was $1,200, almost about the same amount of money as this, and it has 16 gigabytes of RAM, double the RAM size, and again, this is about the same price. It has an RTX 3060 in it, graphics card. This is a laptop, 3060. It has a terabyte of storage, so a terabyte SSD, and it was a Ryzen 9 processor. I think it was 8 cores. Like, it was a really good processor too. Like, bro, it is completely way better, and it was about the same price as this. Like, it's better in all aspects when it comes to specs. Like, that just, it's like, why would you buy this? I don't understand why people buy MacBooks for that price. I don't get it. They're nice PCs, don't get me wrong. I'm sure they're really nice, but the pricing is just overpriced. I could build something for so much cheaper that is superior in every way, too. Exactly, it doesn't have the Apple bite. And the thing is that not as many stuff is compatible with it. You know what I mean? Like if you're doing games and stuff like that, it's just a brand thing. You're right. That's all it is. It's just branding. That's all it is. Like, that's just... It's almost like robbery. Like, this is why I don't like Apple. They just, like... They're just dumb. I don't care about... They just don't care about it. Oh gosh, did you just clip? Of course he clipped it. This is why I'll never do like Apple. I have had some Apple products in the past, but I've never had an iPhone. I've only had an iPod. I had an iPod Classic. You know, the old iPods that came out. I had an iPod Nano. Back in the day, iPods were fine. I loved iPods, you know. Just for music and stuff, you know, it replaced my CD, and I was able to put all the music that I wanted onto it. You know, I had iTunes and everything. I thought that was great. I had no problem with that. I thought that was cool. You know, so I didn't have any issues with that and stuff like that. But lately, just when it comes to, like, technology, they're just so separate from everything. They're just so separate. That's the problem with it. It's just so they separate themselves from everything else, so it's not universal. You have to buy this thing. It's just kind of like with their iPhones. When it comes to iPhones, it's about the stupidest thing. You can't just buy any charger for it. You have to buy an Apple charger for it to work. They have a different connector. It's not just your usual stuff. I mean, are the new iPhones USB-C at this point, or are they still their own connector? I don't know. Let me see if the iPhone 14 charger is just USB-C. iPhone 14. Another thing! iPhone 14 has been absolute nightmares for parks, by the way. Just gonna put that out there, because of their stupid crash detection. Was it a good idea? Yeah, it was a pretty good idea, but they didn't put into effect, or didn't think about when people ride roller coasters, that thing is gonna go off thinking that you're in a car crash. And people aren't gonna be smart enough to turn that feature off while they're in a theme park. You know what I mean? People aren't smart enough. I don't know, it happens every day. I see people on the phone when they come back into the station, on the phone with 911, saying, "Oh no, I was on a roller coaster." Okay, so they at least have USB-C chargers. So if I was to just buy a universal USB-C port, it would work. So thank you, Apple, for finally fixing the charger issue. I appreciate that, because that used to be a thing that was stupid. So I'm glad that it's just a USB-C now. It better be. Like, this is... I'm glad, because USB-C is kind of like the universal charger at this point. For everything. Is the crash not... No, you can turn it on and off. And the fact that we have to make announcements now, they want us to make announcements at the park to, if you have an iPhone, please put your iPhone on airplane mode or turn it off or leave it in the cubbies. That's what we have to say now. I mean, people aren't going to listen, but we have to say that now. It's part of our announcements. We have to tell them to freaking put their iPhone in airplane mode. Like I said, I don't know how many times. It happens every day. Like, someone always ends up on the phone with 911 because, I mean, especially on Outlaw Run. Because you're talking about Outlaw Run here. Which is crazy forces, so... But the last Apple product I had was, it was either my iPod Touch or, no, I had an iPad Mini. It was like one of the first iPad Minis that come out, which was pretty nice. I liked the iPad Minis. That was fine. And I used it for just strictly entertainment purposes, like the App Store and stuff. Because, you know, I would say they probably have, their App Store is about just as good as, you know, the Android store, if not better. You know, I'll give them that much, but like when it comes to like apps and stuff, it's about the same, if not better, you know. I'll give them that. So for like iPhones and stuff like that, that works fine. Phones is fine, but when it comes to like MacBooks, that's my biggest issue, is just like MacBooks and stuff. You know, if someone has an iPhone, I don't like blame them for it. You know, iPhones are they're really good phones and stuff, you know. I just don't like the branding part of it, where they're just more expensive than everything. You know, I'm sitting here, I have a Galaxy S21 Ultra. I absolutely love this phone. The camera on it is phenomenal. It has 100 times zoom, which is absolutely stupid. And the camera on it is just phenomenal. Like, I could record a whole movie with this thing. Like, it's crazy how good the camera is on it. Really expensive phone, though, too. And yeah, I'm not going to upgrade it until I need to as well, because the 22 already came out. Galaxy S22 already came out, so... But, you know. Airdrop. But like I said, I don't hate all the products that come out. I just don't care for the brand. I'm not saying they're a bad brand. They're a really good brand, but when it comes to like laptops and PCs, that is where they suck the most, in my opinion. Like, the specs on those things are just ridiculously crappy, and they're charging you $1,200 for that. Like, come on. Come on, man. I could build a PC for half the price with superior specs. Like, I'm serious. Speaking of PCs, Jake, I don't know if you heard me, but I'm going to try and get back to you as quick as I can. So. But I apologize in advance. I've been really stupid with that, and I need to get that to you. And I know you've been waiting patiently with me, and which I appreciate. And I'm sorry I haven't been messaging you back. I'm really bad when it comes to that. I'll see messages and I just forget to respond. I'm really bad at it. It really sucks, honestly. Like, I need to stop doing that. But like I said, I'm kind of like scared of, like, I guess the thing that scares me most is like the shipping stuff, because I'm not sure exactly how much of that's going to cost, and I don't want to like go over your budget or anything like that. That's kind of what I'm scared of, Jake. Like, I'm just kind of scared about that. Like, I don't know exactly how much it's going to cost, and I want to be careful with that, you know, because I've never really shipped one. I shipped one time. I don't remember how much it costed, but I didn't ship it very far. It was like to one of my uncles in Kansas, you know, like he's only lives like probably, I don't know, 6 to 8 hours away. So yeah, like, I don't know the best way of shipping. I just need to do my research. That's what I'm going to have to do, is just kind of do my research on that and try and get that to you. I need to stop putting it off, because I know you're waiting on me on that. So, and it was my idea to begin with, you know, like, hey, I could build you a PC. It's a hobby that I really have. I love doing, so I wouldn't say I'm the best in the world at it, but, you know, it's still fun, and I think I do a pretty good job. When I'm doing it for someone that, like, when I'm doing it for someone, I always, like, I'm really paranoid, because I want it to be really good, and I don't want it to have any issues, so so, like, I get a little nervous, like, when I do build it at sometimes, because I'm like, oh, I hope it turns out okay. I do want to make it a business. I want to make it my own online store really, really bad. I just don't know where to start for that. You know what I mean? Like, I really want to make, like, an online PC store, and I really don't know where to start. Like, I thought about making, like, an Etsy page or eBay or something like that, to where people can choose their specs that they want, like, you know, based on their budget and stuff. Like, okay, I'll go with this graphics card, give them an option of different cards and stuff like that. I definitely want to do that, though. course, I would be advertising it all the time on the channel. Because like that could be really good. And the really tough part for me is making a profit off of that. Because I have a really bad habit of not making profits on the PCs that I build. Because I try and put the best specs with the budget that they give me. But I never leave any room for profit. That's my problem, because I want it to be reasonably priced at the same time. But I also want to make a profit. But I think the most profit I made was like $100, and I only got that because they paid me extra. They gave me a tip. You know, I never had like a build charge or anything like that, like assemble the thing, which I probably should. That's probably what I should reserve some money for, like the charge for the fee for building it and putting it together. You know, but honestly, I just enjoy building it, so I never done that. That's the problem, because like I've only built for like friends and family, and I never like overcharge them. I always like get the most out of what their budget is. If their budget is 800, I'm using that all 800 to build the PC, like the closest to 800 that I can get to make sure it's the best PC possible for that budget. I don't make like a $700 PC and give myself $100 profit. That's usually not what I do. So. Because, again, I built Derek's PC, and I'm sure you guys have seen D-Rec, you know. I built his computer that he uses for streaming and stuff. I built that, so. The best bang for your buck on a GPU right now? That's a very good question. I don't know what the prices are. I haven't looked at the pricing in a while. Because the prices are always kind of changing. I know the RTX 30, I think 3060. What is a 3060 going for right now? 3060's... Can you get a 3060 for 300? If so, that's pretty good. Oh, that's a 3050. Never mind. Oh, hold on. Let me check Amazon RTX. Why are we playing the national anthem? Okay, we're playing the national anthem. Streaming. Okay, so 3060 costs about just under $400. You can get one for around $380. That's about the cheapest one I'm seeing right now. Oh, here's a mini PNY for $300. It's like a mini card, but like still 3060. So yeah, you're gonna be paying around $350 to $400 for a 3060. I think the 3060 is a really good bang for your buck. I have 3060 on my laptop. And it plays Planet Coaster perfectly, and I think it's one of those best middle line cards. Like, it's not overly powerful, but you're going to be able to play everything on high settings, and you're going to be able to do 1080p and quite a bit of 1440p gaming too. Bum, 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 bum. My thoughts on players kneeling for the anthem. I don't really like to give my opinions on that stuff very often when it comes to, like, YouTube and stuff. You know, like, I don't want to get involved in all that stuff because I might have different opinions from other people, and that ends to me getting canceled in some way or something like that, you know? I will say, like... You know, it is what it is. You know, we live in a free country where you're free to protest, and like, I don't want to put my opinion out there too much, but like, I don't know how to say it, like with, but like, I don't think a lot of people realize what they were kneeling for, if that makes sense. And their protest, it's meant to be peaceful, a peaceful protest. You know, and I think, because they're not, their goal is not to disrespect the country or flag in any way. And where that kind of all started was, it actually came from... you know, from a veteran on how to protest about that. I don't think a lot of people realize that that form of protest for that was came from a veteran, you know, and you know a lot of veterans are saying, oh, they're disrespecting the country and stuff. They're not really disrespecting the country. You know, they're pointing out an issue in the country, and you know, well, then they just say, well, they can just leave the country. You know, the point of it is to make the country better, you know, and you know, because we live in a free country, and you know, I'm just gonna leave it there, but because I love America too, but I also love, you know, it's just kind of, like that's I don't want to say too much about it. Like, you know, they have the right, you know, it's a free country. We have the right to have our voices heard and have our opinions heard, and that's the beauty of America. You know, we have that right. You know, and if you don't, you know, you don't agree, that's fine. You know, that's totally okay too if you don't agree what they're doing, but I personally don't understand racism at all. I think it's the stupidest thing. That if, like, I don't really think there's as, like, just the idea of being racist against someone is just stupid to me. But I don't want to get demonetized, so I'm not going to go into that too far, but because I honestly don't care about anything. Like, I don't care what your skin color is, where you're from, wherever, you know, that doesn't mean we can't be friends. Same with it, like, this channel, my goal is to, like, anyone can come in here and enjoy this content. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care, you know? I don't care where you're from, you know, your orientations, all that stuff. You know, this is just a place to have fun and enjoy a stream, you know? Like, I'm not gonna get political in any way on my streams, so, you know, this is open for everyone. Everyone can enjoy my contents, you know? Everyone is welcome here. I'll just put it that way. But that's as far as I'm going to go into that, because I know how easy it is to get canceled on the internet, and if you accidentally say something wrong, you're done for. Even if it was an accident. And like I said, I respect everyone's opinion, so if you have a different opinion on stuff, that's fine. It's totally cool. That doesn't mean we can't be friends. I'm just saying that. Like, if you disagree on any sort of view, that's totally fine, and you have the right to do that. You have the right to have your own opinion. Like, if you think my park is absolute garbage, and this is the worst park ever, that's totally fine. As long as I like it, that's all that matters to me. So... it's just, like, I love exploring, like, different cultures and stuff. We have a group, I think I've mentioned it before, but we have a group at Salvador City. They're called J1s. They're like students, but they're from the Dominican Republic. Some of the coolest people I've ever met, honestly. You know, they learn English and everything just to come out here and work at the park, you know, and stuff like that. And some of the coolest, I've gained so many cool friends from the Dominican Republic because of that. And we have a few that work at Outlaw Run right now through the end of the year, and they're some of my favorite people, honestly. And I love learning about different cultures and stuff, because I ask them a lot of questions, too. I'm like, just like, do you have any major theme parks, or any parks or anything in the Dominican Republic, kind of like Salvador City or anything? And they're like, no, we really don't have anything. You know, because when they first come out to SDC, you know, a lot of them probably have never ridden a roller coaster or anything like that. Is it football time already? No way. Probably have to get off here and watch the game a little bit. I am probably gonna halt it here for now. I haven't really worked on anything for a while, but yeah, if you see a lot of I'm sure if you've been to SDC, you've probably seen some of those people from the Dominican Republic. You know, they might have an accent, or they might have the best English all the time, which is totally fine. But if for the game and keep chatting with us, I'm gonna come back real soon. I promise. Oh man, I shouldn't have promised. I'm gonna mess myself up here. Yeah, one of my goals, one of the things, I would love to travel and visit a lot of these different cultures and different countries and stuff. I didn't promise 24 hours. I didn't promise that. But I'm going to see you guys for now. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll be back really soon. I hope so. I hope so. I really hope. I'm not going to take another break for now. But okay, guys. Thank you guys for joining. Make sure you guys have a great day and cooler tomorrow. Again, thanks, Silas, for the $1.99 for earlier with the super chats. Appreciate it. I don't get super chats very often, so I really do appreciate it. Met Dominicans with light accents that I can understand. We have one that works at Outlaw. He's been coming with the program for a lot. He has really, really good English. He actually helps a lot of the other students out a lot. And his English is really, really good, so he's helped out a lot as well. I got 2 of them working at Outlaw, and they're so fun to work with. They really are. But thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you guys in the next live stream or video, whichever it may be, and I appreciate you guys. Have a great day and a cool tomorrow.